This is a tree story. Once upon a time there was a peaceful village. Every morning the villagers were greeted by the beautiful song of the village crow. Caw, caw! The crow's music kept the peace. Without the crow's beautiful song, they would be lost. One morning the villagers woke up to silence. The village crow had disappeared. Nobody knew what to do. What will happen now that we have lost the beautiful song of the crow? What will we do? The villagers went to Rollins, the wisest tree in the land, for advice, and to perhaps fill a prescription. Rollins thought long and hard. He was a philosopher by trade, but he was also a scientist. Consequences must be considered, options weighed, cupcakes made. So he made charts with color graphics, PowerPoint slides, detailed maps. He cut coupons, bought sunglasses for his dog, and made cupcakes. He then reviewed the results and came up with a plan of action. He decided to do nothing. Do no harm, he commanded. "This is ridiculous," cried Jebediah Doe. Jebediah was a villager and was no stranger to controversy. He was a hamster handler, an arms dealer, and a snake oil salesman. What he lacked in smarts, he made up for in profits. He was very rich and therefore very wise. According to Jebediah, he could sell sunblock to the sun. Nobody thought to check his references. "This isn't working," cried Jebediah. "It's been 37 minutes. Doomed. We're all doomed." The villagers began to panic. What was there to do but panic? They had no enemies, no crow's song, just fields of plenty and some Kenny G. In other words, doomed. "We can't just sit here and do nothing," cried Jebediah. "Anything is better than nothing." So the villagers went back to Rollins, the wisest tree in the land, for a better solution. He sighed, wrote a prescription for something, and waved them off. His handwriting was terrible, and the villagers were confused. When they went to fill the prescription, the pharmacist shrugged and handed them a tree. "All right, plant this, water it every 4 hours, seek medical attention immediately if you develop tremors, ticks, or termites." So the villagers planted the tree and waited. Perhaps the tree was some kind of offering. Perhaps it was a magical tree. In any case, planting a tree seemed like a sensible course of action. "No, don't you see it's too late for a sensible course of action," cried Jebediah. The villagers lit their torches. As if on cue, the peaceful villagers had turned into an angry mob, and the torches made it really fun for the kids. "We must all do something now," cried Jebediah. The angry mob cheered. "We must do something now, something big, something we will probably regret before it's too late." The villagers knew Jebediah was crazy, but they didn't seem to care anymore. Crazy times call for crazy measures, and crazy measures call for crazy leaders. Seemed like a good idea at the time. So Jebediah did a Google search and came up with his own sensible plan of action. He sent for the aliens. The villagers looked to the skies and waited, and prayed, and waited. Finally, a flying saucer arrived. Unfortunately, it was filled with humans, and everybody knew they made everything worse. One of the villagers liked humans, however. Her name was Christine Doe. Christine was Jebediah's wife. She was a hippie, or what some might call a people hugger. "That's terrific. Invite them in. I adore humans. I bet they'll be a big help. Just wait and see." But time was not on their side, and the villagers were not enthusiastic about the idea of bringing humans back to the village. They remembered what happened last time. "Please, Snuggums, they won't be any trouble. Look at them. They're so cute, please." Jebediah's crazy heart melted. "All right, they have 1 day to restore the peace, and out they go." "Here's the deal," says Jebediah to the humans. "Bring back our crow, and you can have all the weapons you can carry." The humans organized a corporate retreat. They agreed that their objectives were to bring back the crow, to restore peace, and to maximize profit for the shareholders. Then they began brainstorming. One human thought they should make a scarecrow to bring back the crow. Another suggested refrigerator magnets. "Let's be smart about this," said the smartest human. He was, after all, Ivy League educated, and he had good hair. "We don't need the crow to restore the peace. We need to make an enemy, so we can make a treaty, so we can restore the peace." Another human spoke up. "We could nail posters to the trees with a reward." This last suggestion piqued the interest of the trees. One of the humans happened to be leaning on Rollins, the wisest tree in the land. His leaves whispered in the human's ear, "Facebook." Then the human came up with a brilliant idea, "Facebook." "I hope this works," mumbled Jebediah, "so we never have to use those primitive things." He pointed to his weapons of mass destruction. As a successful arms dealer, he was a businessman first. "You don't get high off your own supply, right, Christine?" Christine smiled. "You betcha." The humans made Jebediah sound sane. The humans put their plan into action. They put up pictures of the scarecrow, and they posted a reward. But they did not nail it to the trees. They posted the pictures on Facebook, and in doing so, accidentally overthrew an evil regime in a country they'd never heard of. But within 24 hours, the crow had returned to restore the peace. Unfortunately, never again did they hear the beautiful caw-caw of the crow. The crow had lost its voice, but the clever humans had an answer for everything. They set him up with 2 turntables and a microphone, and the crow played classical music every morning. Jebediah and Christine were thrilled. Mission accomplished, deals made, universe saved. It was time for the humans to go back home. "I'll miss you," said Christine to her humans. True to his word, Jebediah filled the humans' flying saucer with as many deadly weapons as it could hold. "Buckle up, Buttercup, precious cargo," said Jebediah as the humans prepared for takeoff. The classical music had soothed Jebediah. He would never incite a riot again. And naturally, Christine would leave him for a guy with the Pope tattooed on his scrotum. In the end, the villagers lost their minds. The classical music drove them insane, and Rollins, the wisest tree in the land, lived happily and well for another 300 years. If you asked Rollins for advice on living the good life, he wouldn't tell you. But when the wind is right and you get really still, you can hear the leaves whisper, "Bend like the grass."
From the top, in a 5, 6, 7, 8 dance.